Everybody sends me shirts, guys. Everybody. I have more gear from people around the city. Like, I love it. I mean, I'm getting so. I know it is, but I love it. Like, I got so many shirts. I wore one home yesterday, and they're like, my father-in-law, who's still there, is like, what does that shirt say? It said Devontae and Jalen 21, like running for president or whatever it was. I love it. Keep bringing them in, guys.
What's your best one? Like, what's your best shirt you got? And like best story, or how, I'm sure they send.
There's never a story behind it. I had a sweatshirt that I wore this morning that was just of Jalen, like animated, and it just said "fly." I can't remember exactly what it said, but.
How many are like borderline inappropriate?
None of them. I haven't gotten an inappropriate one, but I welcome all of them. It's fun. I enjoy getting it, and yeah.
Is your wife cool with your closet being full of shirts? And
Greg, our equipment guy, does all my laundry. And I'm away.
Has the NFLPA sent you a thank you letter for all the shirts you have? From
No, I should. They should, right?
Fletcher Cox, he expressed that he's having a tough time settling in while playing two different positions along the defensive front. Have you talked to him? Have you talked to Jonathan? How are you working to kind of resolve that?
Yeah, I'm always in open communication with everybody on this team. I think that's just my job as the head football coach. And so, it's our job as coaches to put Fletch in position to make plays because he's one of our better players. And so that's been a conversation with Jonathan to make sure we're getting Fletch in position to make plays. And then when it is his job to eat up double teams, he's got to do that at the best of his ability, which I think he's doing a great job of that because it's freeing up Javon. So yes, there's constant communication. Anytime or anyone's I don't want to say frustrated, but anyone's we need our best players to make plays. We talk through it, and we talk through every situation there is. So I've been in communication with both of them.
What did you see from Jordan Mailata in practice this week, and what's his status for Sunday?
Yeah, he'll be up. And I just saw a guy who was ready to play, and so I'm excited that he's back and ready to roll. Really a tribute to him and the work that he's put in. Our doctors, our trainers, we got great doctors and trainers, we really do. And so in our strength staff. So really excited that they were able to get a quick turnaround with something that could have been longer. Lane will be out.
Nick, going back to Tim's question on Fletch, what's it been like for you as a rookie head coach when you have a younger player versus, say, a veteran who's had success in different schemes and maybe is comfortable? How's that dichotomy been for you?
Repeat that question.
So if you have a veteran player who's had success in a previous scheme, it's a little bit more difficult,
Sure.
I would think, than having a young player who's just starting.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, so I just think everything that we do as coaches has to have a strong why. Why are we doing things? And I think that's just, I grew up in a coaching world, or, when I was a kid, it was like, do it. Why? Because I said so. And that is not how I think the most effective learning is done, or the most effective, hey, we're all in this together is done. Like when you explain the why behind things and why we're doing things and how we're doing things and the reason behind it, my experience is that not everyone might like it, but they at least understand why. So that's always going to be the first and foremost thing of how we kind of tell a guy, why we're doing a certain defense or why we're doing a certain offense, is really explain that why and really break it down into them. And then not only do you get, guys that buy into it, but they also know they execute it at a higher level because they know the reason why we're doing things. So hopefully that answered your question.
Are you willing to share who's playing right tackle?
I'm not going to share that just because it's a competitive advantage for us. You'll see on Sunday.
Can you break down for me why Devontae's jab is so good?
Off the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, or at the top of his routes. I don't know what would you consider the jab?
Yeah, I always consider the jab at the first point of the line of scrimmage, and I think this will resonate with Philadelphia fans that anytime I teach a wide receiver how to release off the line of scrimmage, I have an Allen Iverson clip ready to go. And because it's very much like a crossover. So why was Allen Iverson, I know this is like, man, he's talking about basketball. Why was Allen Iverson good at the crossover? One thing, and you hear him say this all the time, is that he's fast. He was quick. And so people had to react to his first step. And so when he took that hard jab one way, they had to react to it because he was quick, and then he was able to go back the other way. And that's really what receivers is. And because Devontae's fast, and because he's quick, and he has a quick, fast first release, first step, they have to react to when he jabs. And then the other thing on top of that is he's making it a meaningful jab. He's, some receivers will just kind of, I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but put their foot in the ground. Well, he puts his foot in the ground, he puts his body to the way, and he puts his head that way to really get them going, and then he crosses them over to say on, how Allen Iverson used to do it. So that's what makes him so effective. Again, his quick first step, and then his technique in which he does it with how he gets that guy leaning that way and then come off and do it. That's exciting because that's not something a lot of guys have to do a lot in college. And so he's just I've always felt like he is a technically sound wide receiver. And he was coached really well at Alabama, and he's a student of the game, so it's no surprise. And so he has that understanding of that too, that you really got to move him to get off the line of scrimmage.
Coach had David Saylor out here earlier. And how close is he ready for an increased role? How close is he?
Yeah, he's done well in practice. It's a shame that he had the calf injury early on, but he's done really well in practice, and he's ready to go. I know he's ready to go, and again, we got to do what's best for our team to put the guys in position to win and the players out there. So I expect to see him out there this week and make some meaningful plays out there for us especially on special teams, and then we'll see how defense goes.
I just wanted to ask, is this a specific Iverson clip that you show, or just?
Well, there was a special on Allen Iverson, and I don't remember. I grew up a huge Allen Iverson fan all the way back to his Georgetown days. And so when I was growing up in New York and seeing Syracuse games, seeing him play against Lawrence Moten and Kerry Kittles, and I'm showing my basketball nerd a little bit here. But there was a special, and I don't know what it was on, whether it was HBO or it was ESPN, I don't remember. But there it is. He's talking about exactly, almost verbatim of what I just said, of how he would cross them, and I think everybody's now. There's about 5 clips they show as they play it, but the most iconic one, right, is against Michael Jordan, and it kind of gets into that. So it shows him crossing guys up, it shows him doing this and that, but then it kind of the clip and the scene kind of come together with his crossover on Michael Jordan.
I hear he's probably available for a fee.
He can teach our wideout something, that's for sure. I'm
a coaching philosophy.
I knew that. Yeah. In Virginia, where was it? In Newport News? Is that where it was? Yeah.
A coaching philosophy question, not necessarily about Lane specifically, but you have a lot of players here. They all have personal matters of some variety. As a coach, what's the line you navigate between the professional relationship and the personal relationship, and how far are you willing to go on the personal relationship?
Yeah, as far as I need to go, the connecting is our first thing, and I'm here for our players no matter what. And, and that they have to know that about me, that I'm here for them no matter what. And there's not to me, we spend so much time together, and it's so important to me that we connect and good teams connect, that there is no line to me. Like, we're here for our players through the good times, through the bad times, whether it's the situation that Lane's going through or whether it's Darius Slay, who had a baby yesterday, right? And so just always want to have that relationship with our players, because I've said this before, like your initial connection to players comes because the players know you can help get them better. In the grand scheme of things, that's where the relationship starts. This guy can help me get better as a football player and help me reach the goals that I have as a football player. And then from there, you can grow so much with the relationship that you have with a player, coach and player, coach and coach, everything, player with player. And so when you have tight bonds, and like you can't ever put a line on it, like I'm only willing to get this close with, no. Like when you're tight with somebody, I know when I'm tight with somebody, I'm going to work a little bit harder for them. And it's hard to say that because we work so hard. These guys work so hard. Our coaches work so hard. And it's like, there's no way I can work any harder than I'm already working, right? Well, there is. And the only way there is if you have something deep down. It's like, I really care about that person. Like, I'm willing to go even a little bit further than I even knew I could, because I care about that person. And that's a strong bond. And love gets you to go do things that you didn't think you could do, and go further. So there's no line there. It's just, I want to be close with all our guys and look and want to get to know them personally, every one of the guys on our football team.
Look at Christian McCaffrey. Do you see any similarities with like a guy like Kenny Gainwell, for example?
Yeah, he's a really good football player, as we know. He's been really good in this league for a while. There's some of those strength things. I think one of the things that Christian's really good at is just he has great play strength, and he's got great hands. And those are two qualities that I see in Kenny Gainwell. I don't want to. And you asked the question about it, so I'm not by any means trying to compare Kenny and Christian, and because they're both good players. One's been doing it for a long time. Kenny's just obviously starting. But I do see the similarities in that play strength, and I see the similarities in the ability to catch the football. I think sometimes when you get a back, it's like, and you want to move them around, and you want to do them stuff out of the backfield, and you want to put them in the slot, and you want to put them outside. Well, when you start to put the guy outside and you get to put a guy in the slot, that's another. I just want to educate everybody. That's another level of hands that you have to have. Like, to go outside to what receivers do, and then which is different from the backs coming from the backfield. That's a different level of hands that you have to have. Meaning, like, if you have to have a 6 to do this, you got to have an 8 to do, be out there wide. And so that's what I see. I really see Christian doing, and then that's where I'm seeing that Kenny can be strong. That he has just such strong hands at the point of attack, and just can pluck the ball out of the air.
As an offensive coach, Nick, what do you notice first about the Carolina defense?
Speed. Fast. They can run around and make plays. They're fast off the edge. They got speed at each level. They're well coached. I think you always look at it like, does this team play hard? Yeah. Is this team in the right positions and playing with good fundamentals? Yeah. So they're well coached, and that's a tribute to their coaches over there in Carolina. So, but the main thing that sticks out is that they got speed, and you know what, we got speed too. So, but that's the main thing that I can see, that I see when I watch the tape, all the tape we've watched this week.
Nick, what's your philosophy on practice squad development? Those guys behind the scenes, we heard that you guys do a session of work with the special teams players. What's your overall philosophy on that, and how do you find that, like, next Zach Pascal sort of?
Yeah, sure. That's a good question. So the philosophy is prepare just like you're getting ready to play the game. But how do you do that how do you prepare like you're getting ready to play the game when you're actually running the opposite team's plays? That's hard. Right, and that's hard. But so we're so much about practice that you get better from practice. You get better from practice. You stay on this lane of getting better every single day by how you practice. So that's their first job right away. But every day, I don't mind sharing this with you guys. Like every day or every Wednesday, we have a 5-play period that is just developmental to end practice. And that's with everybody out there. That's with the veterans watching too. And so they're getting the reps of the plays that we're running. And then every Wednesday, we do the same thing, but in the red zone. So it's field and then red zone. And then every Friday, we have a competition between with the rookies with one-on-one. So we'll actually end practice where, a corner will go against a receiver in front of the whole team, and we usually do 5 of those things, and then we always get an extra workout in. This is something that I've always done in the past is get the extra work in on a Sunday of a game where half the league, I don't know whether it's half the league or not, maybe 3/4 of the league aren't doing anything with their practice squad guys there. Well, we're out there working individual drills with them and working routes with them and working everything we are with them. So those are the guys that we're gonna have to count on those guys, and they're helping you get your team better. And so that's a big part of it. It's a long year. There's bumps and bruises throughout the way, and you got to have those guys ready to play. And so, being a college coach first, I think what I was taught as a college coach was, hey, it was always recruit, retain, develop. That was what was taught to me right from the beginning. Recruit, get good players in here, retain them. Keep them eligible, make sure they're doing the right things, and develop them. Well, it's the same thing here. You go through the draft process. You don't get your pick of, I'll take that guy and I'll take that guy. I'll recruit him hard. I'm going to get him. So it's you go through the draft process. So it's, being really sound there and you with your evaluations. And then once you get him here, develop them. And so that's always stuck with me. And we're looking for every way we can develop them. And I think those are, I know that's not what we do. Just all the places I've been around, that's not quite the norm as far as what we do with our scout team guys, and so they're working hard at it.
What have you seen from Gardner Minshew over the first 4 weeks?
Yeah, that's really been important for him. Knowing that he hasn't been here for training camp, him getting 10 reps every week with our offense, that's huge, right? For him to be able to do that. So, yeah, I just see the competitiveness out of Gardner and the playmaking ability, and it's fun to see it when you're sitting there back there coaching instead of when he was 19-20 against us when he played Jacksonville versus the Colts in 2020. He didn't miss a pass, so it's fun to kind of watch him run around. He's doing a good job, and I'm glad he's here.
What about in the meeting rooms? What is he like?
Yeah. I think he's great. I think he's a great addition to our quarterback room, and he's got good insight, brings good energy. I really like our quarterback room. There's great conversations that happen in there to help Jalen get ready to play.
Guys, good.
Thanks, everybody.